Hey y'all, it's LaVette here with my man Elam.
Hey.
We here talking about mental illness from a black man's perspective. It's deep. So you guys want to stay tuned, you want to watch. It got everything.
Let's go.
Welcome. Hey y'all. This is episode 10 of Loving My Growth, where we cover tips and topics of growth and inspire you to grow in your everyday lives. A little off today. That's all right because we're going to push through and still bring you a really good show. My guest today is Mr. Gary Moore, aka Mookie. I'm going to use that more because, yeah, that's who I remember you as.
Okay. Okay.
As always, we always start the show with a word of the day, and we end it with a product or service. I'm going to tell y'all right now, everything today is off the top of the head. There is no questions formed. We just having a conversation today. Yeah, that's what I do. What was that? That was cool. Okay. So today, the word of the day is consistent. I have not been consistent. So that's going to be our word of the day. And because I haven't been consistent, I didn't have a word of the day till like a minute and a half ago. And now I'm upset because I'm looking at these definitions and I don't like them. However, consistent by definition, acting or done in the same way over time, especially so to be fair or accurate, unchanging in nature, standard, or effect over time, compatible or in agreement with something. When I think consistent, I think doing the same thing constantly to make it not a practice, but make it normal. And I have to be consistent to make sure that it's always something that I'm doing. I have not been consistent at all. Because I didn't like the definition, I chose something else. Being consistent will help build momentum. That means you'll always feel good about what you're working towards. So right now we're working towards growth. Everybody wants to grow. You want to be different than you were yesterday. Today you want to be different than you were last year. You don't want to remain the same because then you're stagnant. You're not growing, you know. Look for your purpose and grow. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right in with my guest today, Mr. Gary. Won't you tell my folks who Gary, aka Mookie, is? Where you from? What you do? If there's something, a purpose that you have in life, all that good stuff.
Well, yeah, like she said, my name is Gary. Known to my friends and most close family as Mookie. I was born in San Francisco, pretty much. I'm been an athlete since I was probably the age of 5. So I'm, football, basketball, swimming, a little bit of everything I got into. I've always been a big fan of the arts. So when it comes to like acting, when it comes to live performance or concerts or anything, I'm usually the first in line.
Okay.
Kind of trying to get there, So now I'm working with currently a nonprofit, kind of right now. But as I'm doing that, I'm really working towards getting more into acting right now.
Okay.
So trying to kind of get my foot in the door, pretty much right now, and get an agent, get some updated headshots.
Okay.
And really just start networking in the Bay. There's a whole lot of people out here that's doing some work and
Trying to get in it, huh?
right. I'm trying to meet them. Trying to get to know everybody, man.
Okay, y'all see that face? Y'all need them in y'all stuff. Hit me up. Hit him up. We gonna make sure towards the end of this that we get his information out there so that they can get in touch with you.
Right.
And get it together. Well, we're gonna go ahead and start with our topic today. So I know Gary from Boys and Girls Club, Page Street. He was a kid. He was a little kid.
Right.
Then, and I left from the Boys and Girls Club, and I encountered Mookie again at camp. He was my son's counselor, and at that point, it was like that's a good role model for my son to follow behind, and he liked you. He liked you, but I mean it's all family, so we already know that. So in following Mookie Gary, on Facebook, there was a post that he put back in June. I think this was June. Yeah, May 31st is when I hit you, and I'm gonna go ahead and read the post. So the post is, maybe not today, but one day we'll discuss the sibling beefs that move into parenthood and how they cripple extended family members from getting to know each other and even meet. So that kind of touched me. Like, that's deep. In our community, we really do need to work on that.
Right.
We need to work on that.
Big time.
So that's our discussion today, is about these beefs and how not even, the downline from the siblings don't meet, but that goes into a whole lot of other stuff. Not just sibling beefs, but beefs between not always necessarily spouses, but the mother and father of a child, and their beefs, how it leads to siblings not meeting each other and not having relationships as well.
Right.
It all kind of boils down to beef, period, between people and how it affects. So my first question is, what put it on your heart to post that? If you remember.
Yeah. I mean, well, pretty much just life experience. Well, like you mentioned, also working with youth, so I get to kind of get their perspective and the things they're going through, kind of just as I have these conversations with them.
Right. Okay.
And they pretty much mention some things, certain family members getting into certain things, and how they're already 15 and kind of just now learning they even have a cousin or a brother or sister, and kind of just looking at my own life and how there's certain things within certain family lines and generations that are still unsettled and kind of working themselves out. But,
right. Okay. I totally, in my family as well, can see, somebody made somebody mad at some point. I'm exaggerating, but it could have been like, I don't like what you're wearing today. And it's like, did she really I ain't gonna never talk to her again. And then 20 years later and 5 kids later and grandkids, and they live in the same city and don't know each other. Like, I've always thought, in my situation with my kids and their siblings, my fear was, I don't want my kids to be like, oh, I met this person, they're cool, and now we dating. Dude, that's your sister. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, it's possible.
Right? It's like, oh, okay, no, that's your cousin. Like, you know, and things like that happen, especially if you don't have the relationship
Mm-hmm.
that normal brothers and sister cousins would have. Um, Speak to what you feel the effects would be, and or have been, and if you have a thought on which generation
Mm-hmm.
really uh, had these issues.
Oh.
That was off the top of the
Yeah.
head. That was tighter.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, just for me, as far as effects, there's still some family members I'm getting kind of to know,
Okay.
and kind of still getting or kind of still learning about. My bad. Sorry. So I'm kind of still reaching out and trying to make these connections, but like kind of now it's kind of seeming like, where you been at for all these years. You know what I mean? So it's like you like, I think how it's taken is like some people see it as like you've never tried to reach out before, so
why now?
right, why now? It's like, and it's kind of brushed off as kind of like a fake, I guess you could say. But it's just genuine, and it's really just kind of getting me getting the late notice that they're kind of even here or even in the same country or whatever.
Right. But I think, if it's on your heart, and people don't think that way. They think how you just said. Why are you reaching out now? You didn't reach out before.
Right.
But, if it's on my heart, we all grow. That's the whole purpose of life, is to grow and be better people. So if it's on my heart today to really think, okay, I need to reach out to my family. I need that, closeness. I need to know who I am, where I come from, who I'm related to, so that's a reason why you want to reach out. Unfortunately, we be in our feelings.
Yeah.
Or somebody else's feelings because somebody said something, and your mama said, I can't stand her, and she always was messing with me when we was younger, and so again, it causes your cousins and family members to look at you the same way that sibling looked at their sibling.
Right.
And I may be my mama's child, but I'm not my mama. So you have to take me for who I am. My thought as far as generation, and it could be because of the generation that I'm in, I feel a lot of it happened with my parents' generation, which is those born in the 50s, and
I was gonna agree. The 50s, kind of 60s, would kind of be the generation I would name.
Yeah, I definitely, because it's like, but I mean, you got to look at how their generation was. Don't talk about what goes on in this house stays in this house, because then they tried to push that off on us.
True.
A lot of secrets going on that they were unable to talk about. A lot of their parents came from, I really want to use the word escaped, from the South.
Right. Yeah, that's a good word.
It came here. Yeah. We all trying to go back to the South. It's like, stop, take a second. Why did they come here? Why did they run from the South and come here? Now y'all trying to run back to the South. Bay Area for life. I just want to throw that in there. You agreeing with me? But I think that generation was really, they didn't do a lot of soul searching. They didn't go to seek outside help or mediation.
Amen.
They didn't, we're all about therapy and being more open and having the conversation. They didn't do that.
Right. They were let's keep it quiet. Let's put it on the back burner. Let's not talk about it. Other family members don't need to know what's going on here. No mediators needed.
Right. Keep up the appearance. Everybody smile for the picture.
Yeah.
And behind it is like, yeah, you flipping your that face like, yeah, you just wait till we done.
Yeah.
We may be smiling in this picture, but after that, I'ma bust you in your yeah. Okay. How do we change that? What is it that needs to be done to heal or mend some of those relationships? Can you heal or mend some of those relationships at this point?
I mean, I personally think yes.
Okay.
Is it easy? No. It's definitely going to be hard. And more than likely a lot of tough conversations. The ones that people hide and run from. But I think mainly it's really opening up the floor for like more family interaction. And it's like today we might only kind of see family in like certain events, maybe a funeral, maybe a holiday we might catch them, a Thanksgiving, or maybe someone has like a championship game or something like that. But it's like we got so many like apps now that you can use to chat, to video chat. We don't even got to be in the same room.
Right.
Zoom is free.
Yeah.
But.
And if not, it's only $17 a month.
Right.
and you don't have to be confined to that 45 minutes. Right. And with I think I'm not promoting social media, but with social media has made it easier for you to interact with family members, the friends, whoever, because I don't have to actually sit there and talk to you.
Right.
I can, wave, say hi, comment, admire your life from afar. Oh, so-and-so just had a baby, or so-and-so's kids are this age. And so I think that kind of helped. But again, for our generations, there are some of those from that generation that are on social media and trying to use it. My mama keep doing all those stickers. Like, I didn't even know you were still on here.
Like, you don't stop poking me.
Right. But the running joke in the African American community is you only see your family at funerals. There's truth to that joke, but it's a running joke.
Right.
And I know for me, for my family, my best side, we do a family reunion every year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Every year. Okay, not last year because of COVID, but every year. And it was a decision. It was a decision that was made that it doesn't have to be extravagant. It's same day every year, third Saturday of August. We gonna get together. Somebody pick a location. Like, okay, come May, we ain't talked about it. What's going on? Come June, we ain't talked about it. Somebody pick a park. Okay, we gonna go to Oak Park in Stockton. Okay, who bringing what? Most people bring the same thing every year because that's their specialty. But we get together and we have a good time.
Right.
And, there are people that still come in from out of town.
Mm.
But the beauty of it is my daughter, who is 13, has gone to this function since she was 2. She knows not just my cousins, but my mom's cousins and, my grandmother's siblings. And so she's like, okay, so and so and so and so. And she's in communication with her cousins. She has a cousin in Washington that, he's a couple years older than her, but they text and FaceTime and all the stuff. So that connection to me is beautiful.
Right.
Because he in Washington. That if we didn't have those events, she wouldn't know her cousin like that.
Right.
Enough to pick up a phone and be like, what you doing, or how you been, or you coming, or whatever. So it forges those relationships because we leaving here. My grandmother's generation, it was 10 of them. 6 of them gone. It's only 4 more. And they were the generation that held a lot of stuff together.
Right.
They made sure on this day you was at this person's house. On this day, Father's Day, you was here. 4th of July, you was here. We don't have that anymore.
Right.
Because of those beefs.
Mm-hmm.
Get out your feelings.
And it's, man, because it's sad, because they want that. And it's just, just that pride.
That's
people,
it.
Man, and people let it get in the way all the time.
That's it.
All the time.
That's it. So at what point, what can you do as a family member to help mend these relationships, or at least bring those around you together, in hopes that those that are beefing will realize that was trivial. Let's get past it and move forward. I mean, because you didn't kill me because I'm here and you here, so It wasn't that serious.
Right.
What can happen to mend those relationships?
And I just think it takes, it's going to take at least everybody kind of around them to really press them about it. You know what I mean? Force them to kind of get into a room and talk about it. Talk about why you still got this anger. Talk about, what we can do to move forward.
Right.
Because it's like people have ideas, maybe an apology has to be here, maybe, make me some of that pie you made.
Right,
I mean? But
right.
There's certain things that can be done, and I think it's just about the family members even kind of getting involved.
Right.
And kind of making it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe an apology won't happen. So sometimes you have to think about, what's plan B? If so-and-so think they was right, and so-and-so think they was right, okay, let's squash the apology.
Right.
Let's just agree to move on and enjoy our family as it is. I know for me, in those years that we had our family reunion, it's grown. There are people who normally weren't attending that are now attending. So it's almost like I said, people grow. Why am I missing out?
Right.
I am a part of this bloodline. I need to love on my people. And that's where we throw that out all the time. I need that best love. I need to be in the presence of my older cousins. My mama's cousins, because they my second cousins, but I love them just as if, We grew up together, even though they in their 60s, and and I get the best hugs.
Mm-hmm.
I get the best hugs from them. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important to me, to know that I have somebody in my life. I may not see them every day. I may not talk to them every day. But in those situations, I look for that person to give me that hug.
Right.
And I think we need more of that.
Especially today. Especially, you look outside and see what's going on. We got viruses, we got protesters getting, to the ugliest and the worst. And yeah, you really gonna need that support system and that family to really have your back.
Yeah.
Especially today, yeah.
So the conversation needs to be had, or we need to just agree to move on, because people are leaving here. It is. I have a family text, which is awesome. We've been doing this for months. We have a family text. It's about 12 of us. It's my aunts, my mom, my uncles, my cousins, my sisters. We all in this morning text. And my daughter, she don't know why she in there, but she in there. And it's beautiful, especially during the pandemic where we couldn't see each other. It's like every morning we wishing each other good morning. And it's, some people don't chime in as much. I do have it on mute. I know y'all gonna see this. That's okay, but I see it when I wake up and look. But the point being is, there's a way to interact when you can't truly be there. Technology has forged a way for us to do these things, and all it takes is a hey, how you doing, and I know y'all love me, but I see it more when we're in communication.
Right.
So it's the communication that needs to be had, and we just need to move forward with it. So my question to you is, how, we know it's hard. If you have two people, which the beef is between these two people, one is a little more stubborn than the other.
Mm-hmm.
How would you approach that situation to try and work on mending that? I have my idea on how I would do it, but how would you do it?
I may first kind of sit down and have the conversation with them individually, and just to see if there's just that love is still there. You know what I mean? Because as mad as you get, as fired up as somebody can get you, if the love is still there, then there's still a possibility.
Got it. Okay.
And just kind of moving on from there, I'd even voice that to each side. You know what I mean? Like, there's still this big amount of love there waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? No matter how angry you are right now.
Okay. All right. I think, depending on the individuals, enlisting the help of their children in trying to make it, easier. Because, again, that generation shut down. I don't want to talk about it at all. And it's like, okay, so I can't get you to sit down and talk about it. What if I forced you into a situation? Okay, let's have a birthday party, or let's have something to where at least we can get each other in the vicinity
Yeah.
of one another.
Yeah.
It will probably take some monitoring.
Yeah, right. You need a couple mediators probably in there at the time with the kids, but yeah.
Right, because siblings, I've seen siblings fight.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Grown siblings.
yeah, yeah.
We ain't talking about no little kids. We talking about grown-ups. So you have to. It will take some time, but I think if it's important to the family, it can happen. It can definitely happen. Um, I think nowadays a lot of people are opening up a little bit more on, all the skeletons and secrets in the closet and, you know, what have you. Um, and a lot of it is because people are leaving here. Um, and not just, and the pandemic and all this whole other stuff. Um, you mentioned getting together on Zoom and all these other things that we could do. Um, who do you feel is the right person to start that, to bring it? Say in your family, who should be the initiator?
Who should be? I mean, I guess. Well, for my family, um, it could really be anybody. I mean, there's a multiple people that it could be, but someone like me would even be like a good person, or someone like just even kind of like one of the kids in the family, basically to say.
Mm-hmm.
And most people are kind of pretty much 20 to 30 at this point, but I feel like one of the youth kind of stepping up and bringing everybody together on this platform that mostly they use nowadays, would kind of mean something and kind of just let everybody know that they care.
Right.
That this is, about the future of what we got going on in this family.
Okay. Does it have to be formal? Can it be informal?
No, I think the best way is informal. You know what I mean? As long as everybody's on there, everybody has a chance to speak. You know what I mean? It doesn't exactly have to be like a moderator or like a certain topic, but
don't have to be a certain topic. But I think it need to be some moderators because they.
I see where you go.
But yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it could just be a conversation about, like you were saying, picking a new park. What's our next location? What's something we can do while we at the park? Somebody bring, a couple frisbees. Somebody bring a couple water balloons. I don't know.
And keep the old people in mind. You gotta have some cards and some dominoes.
We're gonna definitely slam some dominoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Get them in there. Put a little music on. The shuffle, bring everybody out, and it covers all the age groups. I think we all just need to come together as family members. We all have the responsibility. I know for us, when my sister, my cousin, and I first decided to take on our family reunion, we used to do it. My mom and her cousin my cousin and my aunt did it back in the 90s. And, after a while, it does take a toll, on trying to get everybody together and, trying to make sure there's enough stuff for everybody. And we decided to step up and do that. So you don't have to do it alone. If you can work together with your family and put something together, You know, who has a house big enough for everybody to come to? Who has, and it doesn't take a lot.
Right, right.
It does not take a lot. It does, there are some families, my dad's side of the family, um, they got dues and they send out itineraries and applications and
Okay.
all this,
Yeah.
like real elaborate.
They do it up. Yeah.
It's like, okay, no, we ain't got to do all that. Like, this person always gets a case of ribs. This person always gets a case of chicken. This person do the boil. Everybody knows what they normally do and what everybody enjoys. We just get together and do it. But it takes that leader in the family to just push it just a
Right.
little bit, and then get in, like you said, the cousins. Okay, make sure your mama or your daddy, and make sure that that older generation knows the date, the time. If you got to go get them and bring them, and just make sure that they have fun.
Mm-hmm.
They have fun. They have, you know, the memories. And you can incorporate. If you know what the triggers are, don't incorporate them memories. Don't bring that picture from that day where they was fake smiling and all the stuff. But I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely time for our people to come together. In the words of my grandmother who passed last year, we gotta love one another.
Right. Every day.
Man, not just on at Christmas, not just at Thanksgiving,
Valentine's. I got you a rose.
Right. Right. It's making sure that we're doing, our part as a family member to embrace our family and continue be consistent, word of the day, in having our family grow together and not apart. I mean, I got a lot of family. I got a lot of cousins. Your mama and her best friends, them her sisters, all their kids is my cousins. Every time you turn around, that's my cousin, and that's my cousin. I got a lot of them. And we do, interact, but that bloodline is important, and you have to do something. Any other thoughts you have on that? I do thank you for posting that, because it's something that definitely needs to be seen and talked about.
I think just the hardest work to do is for the more stubborn members of the family, who kind of stick with this. Like, say, example, like you're telling somebody that what they're doing is hurting you, and their response is, "Oh, well, that's who I am." It's like, I think we also gotta kind of do some work on ourselves, well, a whole lot of work within our families, to kind of look at and see where we might be doing some harm to somebody, where we might be damaging somebody with certain things, or that we're doing, saying, and kind of, really make that switch.
Yes. Yeah. That's just me. That's just how I am. Okay, so how you are is for you to just be mean and evil to everybody?
Right. It's
that's not who you are. You got trauma. Deal with the trauma.
Yeah, amen. Right.
Deal with your trauma so we all can move on.
People are scared of the T word still. Therapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you didn't see my last episode with Dr. Whitaker, she's offering her services. And don't think, oh, I can't afford it. Go watch the episode and you will realize that yes, you can. And not just individual therapy, but family therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people, counseling, couples counseling. A lot of people like, I don't need therapy. You do. Like, hold on. How you gonna tell me what I need?
Right.
But what about you? It's like we don't look at ourselves. We always look at the other person as being the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
When 9 times out of 10, the person that's saying I don't need it,
right,
probably needs it more than
mm-hmm.
anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah, that's just my blood. That's the blood in me. We all crazy. We get it from the top. Yeah, just because we get it from the top don't mean we can't work on it. There's tools
Mm-hmm.
and, things that we can do so that we're not flying off the handle. We're not assuming and jumping to conclusions on stuff. We can actually, work together.
Yeah.
I think if I see you working on something, I can better understand. Okay, I get it. I understand you have anxiety or whatever, because a lot of times that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. So we just gonna take a step back,
Right.
breathe for a second, and then continue this conversation. And you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
'Cause, I mean, yeah, it's basically just like it's a lot easier to kind of express resentment and hate than kind of vulnerability and love, So
Yeah.
that's what it's gonna take.
Yeah. Yes. Nobody likes to be vulnerable. They don't like that feeling. But once you allow yourself to feel it, then you can move on. You can move forward and grow and love it and all that good stuff.
Right. You gotta love the growth. You got to.
Yes.
As uncomfortable as it is, you got to.
Mhm. Or what they say, no pain, no gain.
Mhm.
How you gonna do it if you don't feel a little pain? You can't run from it.
Right.
You can't run from it all your life. You take care of it now, it won't hurt as much. You wait, it's gonna be a little harder to deal with
Mhm.
than if you take care of it right away. It's easier. Open the door. Open the door. I appreciate you for agreeing to come on and have that conversation with me. Um, I know I do want you to give out your information because I do want to see you
Mhm.
working. He need them
Soon.
headshots
Soon,
done.
man.
Like okay.
Right. I do need a couple looks though. You had it right.
So you mentioned
Mhm.
the acting and your interest. What made you want to get into acting? What makes that a passion for you?
Well, I was probably about 8, and my school pretty much had a day where they took us to the Orpheum Theater downtown, and we were seeing a production of Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
And I had seen the movie many times, of course, but just getting there to see it live was a whole different experience in itself, and just like the emotion, just the intensity they put into it. You know what I mean? And how they were able to move a crowd of people from tears to laughs to to anxiety and not knowing what's gonna happen next was something that like it was like a superpower to me. You know what I mean? Like I fell in love with it instantly, and I kind of just knew that was something I wanted to kind of chase after and try and do.
Okay. Okay. And as far as that, what's what are you more into? Is it drama? Is it comedy? Is it?
I mean, well, right now I say drama and comedy are more so my aims, but I mean, overall, I'm trying to touch every base
Okay.
from horror to comedy, romance, action.
Okay. from the window to the wall.
Right, right.
Okay.
Leave no stone unturned.
Okay. All right. So y'all definitely hook a boy up. Go ahead, give out your email address, how to contact you.
Contact me at GaryJMoore21@gmail.com. And I can go on and spell it GaryJMoore, number 21@gmail.com.
Okay. We'll make sure we'll put that up on the screen. And if not, y'all can get in touch with me and I can hook you up.
Be that connect.
You know, yes, get it done. I do want to say family is important. Family is very important. Relationships are important. Please foster those relationships. You know, don't let nothing trivial keep you from feeling the love from those around you. Also, product of the day. Again, I told y'all in the beginning, I'm winging this whole episode was winging it, period, because I have not been consistent. But I'm gonna be consistent with this. Product of the day, of course, is myself. Business and mindset coaching. Come on, get it done. Like, everybody has a hobby. Come on, let's turn it into